One bill that may survive the legislature again. Mimi, you're following this. It's coverage for biomarker testing. What's the latest there?
Yeah, it may not survive, Jake. This is the third year in a row that supporters have tried to get a bill passed on biomarker testing. Scientists have found a way to use your own genes or proteins to help doctors diagnose and treat diseases. But not everyone can afford to pay for it. I sat down with a friend of mine who is sharing her story and why she wants insurance companies to cover the test, a test that she believes saved her life.
Well, I was completely shocked. I've never touched tobacco in my life.
Right before her 50th birthday, Kaylin Luxon got a devastating diagnosis, stage 4 lung cancer.
That initial meeting, he said, "You're gonna die from this."
But her oncologist at Fred Hutch had a glimmer of hope. She might be eligible for a new kind of treatment called targeted therapy. The only way to know was to undergo a biomarker test.
It showed that I have a mutation called EGFR, and there was a therapy for it. It's actually the most commonly diagnosed non-small cell lung cancer for a never smoker.
That's the primary tumor, and now it just looks like that.
A CT scan revealed her tumor was once the size of a lime, but 4 months after beginning treatment, it was gone.
Within a week, I felt so much better, and then by 4 months later, I was swinging the golf club and playing pickleball again.
Biomarker testing looks for genes, proteins, or substances that help identify targeted treatments for cancer and other serious diseases, allowing people to avoid traditional chemotherapy or radiation that may not work.
Cancer treatment is becoming more and more reliant on biomarker testing because it's become standard of care.
That's why the American Cancer Society has been pushing for a bill to expand insurance coverage in Washington for these groundbreaking tests. More than half of the 62 cancer drugs introduced in the last 5 years require or recommend biomarker testing, and many clinical trials depend on it too.
With Fred Hutch in our backyard, we have folks who may have to fight with their insurance or pay out of pocket just to access a clinical trial that could also save their lives.
Good afternoon, Chair Banowski and members of the committee.
At a House committee hearing last month, the Department of Health spoke out against the bill, arguing that the state's health plan already covers biomarker testing, while raising concerns about investigational tests.
Investigational tests can lead to medical management decisions based on inaccurate information with the potential for harmful consequences, including misdiagnosis and inappropriate medical treatment.
Fortunately for me, my insurance picked up most of it.
Luxon believes everyone should have access to a test that could save their life, just like it did for her.
If I had not received the test and been able to go on this treatment, I literally might not even be here.
Biomarker testing can also help with early detection of Alzheimer's, ALS, MS, and Parkinson's. 20 states have passed legislation requiring insurance companies to cover this test, but it doesn't appear it will pass in our state this year.